Hi everyone, welcome back to part 2 of the Bluebell Woods. So we'll see how we got on with this. I don't know how much I'll get done in this part. We might need to go to part 3, but we'll see how we get on. So just a wee recap of where we were. So started part 1 this morning and it's still pretty wet. But we'll go back here. I want to put a wee bit of sort of foliage in between the trees, and then I'll start on the Bluebell Wood, and then we'll go back and do the trees. So at the moment I've got this in here just for some light coming through, but I'll show you what we'll do with that when we get to that. Okay, so I'm just using a small brush like that, and I've just got the same colours out my palette as I had earlier. It's got a bit messier since you've seen it last because I've been doing a couple of different wee things with it. So what I'll do, I'll use some bright lemon and a little bit of viridian green. That's quite strong. It's a colour I don't normally use, but it just seems to be showing up a bit brighter for the foliage in here. So what I'm going to do is just do some light stuff here, and I'll make it a bit darker at the bottom. The reason that I want it darker at the bottom is just so that it gives me a nice bit of darkness next to the light bluebells, and it makes them stand out a bit better as well. So lots of lemon in this, and it's at a distance this, so it's just like an impression. It doesn't need to be detailed. I'll be going back and filling in some of the trees a bit more anyway, these trees, because they're not dark enough, so that's just a base that's on them now. I think the last time I did a picture like this it was in acrylics. This is water-based oils, so it's taking quite a wee while to dry in. But we'll see how we get on. Now, even though that's the light coming in here, it'll still have the foliage coming through here as well, so we'll just make it a little bit lighter there. You can even add a bit of white into it as well, just to peel it right down. So that white paint's still pretty wet, so we can still do quite a bit. That'll peel my colours down quite nicely now. There's lots of lemon in this. They're just kind of starting off as bases, so I'm going right through the light there, and I can go back into the darker tones now. These are just bases, and then I build them up. There we are, that's that wee bit done. So just to make it darker at the bottom now, I'm going to use a bit of burnt umber. Sorry, it's raw umber, but that's okay. I can actually add a bit of blue into that to make it even darker. So just sort of at the bottom like that, and you can do that if you like with your finger and just blend it in a little bit, or with a brush, whatever you prefer, just to give it a bit of dark base at the bottom. You can put other wee bits through it as well, doesn't need to be just at the bottom. So I'm looking for a sort of a darker base just right along there. Even at the lighter bits they can have some dark, not just as dark obviously because it's really going to be light there. Back to some more dark, and mix this with a bit of green here to make it a bit darker. Just make sure it's all on one line. Now that dark base gives me a nice wee base to put some lemons and greens, interrupting it again later on when it's a bit drier. Right. So what we might do as well, I'll show you what we're going to do with the top of the picture. I'll show you a wee one that I was just doing today, just playing with this in a smaller board, just to give you an idea where we're going with this. Just let you see that. And that's it there. Just ignore the light source the now, it was too wet to work on, so I'll go back to that. Okay, just make sure you can see this all right. So I just thought I'd give you a wee bit of something to look at to show you where we're going with this bit. Okay, so I've got some fresh white out on my board, and some of this will still be wet, so all I want to do is just freshen some of them up just a little bit, because right across here will be quite light. Doesn't need to be pure white, but it's just lighter, and it's just a wee bit easier getting in with your finger here. I suppose you could do it with a brush as well, might take you a little bit longer, but this is just to give it a wee bit of base of light coming through there. Still want to see the blue though. So if you like, once you've got that on there, you can take your little brush and just sort of spread it about a bit and mash it in a wee bit more, because the paint underneath is still pretty wet. But of course, if you do this in acrylic, it'll be a whole different story. Everything will dry much quicker for you. I'm just going to take a wee bit of white down there and just kind of tidy that little bit up. There's another little bit of light down there too. That should do that. Alright, so what I'm going to start with, I'm going to start with a brush like this. This has got like different lengths on it, it's kind of into a point, so this is quite nice for doing some of the layers of white that's right along there. So I'm going in with white. I'll just show you my palette actually, what I'm going to do here. I've got some white here, and I'm just going to put a tiny little bit of ultramarine in it, so it's like a very, very pale blue, almost white at the moment. It's very pale. And so what I'm going to do just at the tops of this here is just make this very, very pale blue, and it'll get slightly darker as it comes down. Ultramarine is quite a sort of violet blue anyway, so it's quite nice for using for bluebells. It's quite a nice blue to go with. And ultramarine's a colour that sometimes when you put a different blue next to it, it makes it look more purpley, because it is quite a sort of inky blue, whereas most of the other blues are quite pale blue and greeny blues and things like that in them, but this one just shows a bit more of that. So I'm just going to be putting this where my light source is at the moment, just to get started. And I can always top it up with more white as well. So there's a wee bit yellow going on there, so I'll just clean my brush. With the oils, it's easy to pick up different colours. If there's any wet colours lying there, it will pick them up. So I'll just get in here. I'm mainly using this brush kind of dry, because when you do that, the paint definitely goes on a bit lighter. And these don't all have to sit in a row, they can be interrupted with the foliage, but kind of work that in once it's a bit drier. Just going to make sure they're a wee bit flatter as well. We don't need them to be any shapes or anything now, but just the flatter it is, the better. It lets you work over the top of them. Plus, if you spread them out a wee bit like that as well, they will dry quicker, so it allows you to actually put wee speckles of this colour over it. Right, so I'm just going to keep the white and the ultramarine going right through here at the moment. You might see it going slightly different here because there's colours underneath, but that's okay because we're going into the darker bits. And I want to just keep it as pale as I can now, and then I'll start going into some darker bits. This area is darker in the picture, should be, because the light kind of stops there, so this bit should be darker. So I'm just going to pick up tiny little bits. I'm just very gradually going in a wee bit darker. And you'll see that I'm leaving some wee spaces in between it, and the reason for that is I maybe want to get in with some other colours as well, like violet, a bit more purpley, things like that. So I want to be a bit more blue now. Not too much, just little bits. Now this is in the light source here, so I don't want this to get too dark, but it's okay, you can still apply it like that. And what you can do is, once it's on like that, see, this wee brush is quite nice for bluebells because it's at different lengths here, you sometimes get wee dotty bits like that, like wee speckles, and so it's quite nice. Not that we need detail because these are distant, you're only seeing the tops of the bluebells really, so I'm still continuing to leave wee gaps. And it's okay, it's quite nice to leave some wee whites showing through as well, because these are the wee sort of surface lights that you see in the field as well. So it's a little bit darker in there. Not much, just a little bit. And I'm going to do something with my path now, so I'm not going to do too much on there now. The other thing to watch out for as well, if the light is coming this way, the light will be on these trees here, and also beside the trees there'll be a wee bit more sort of bluebell shadow. The bluebells will just look a little bit darker. I'll just show you that as I go along. Sometimes actually when you put these in, it covers quite an area where you don't need to worry about filling those bits in later on, so it's quite good to get some of them in, just something like that. You don't have to be too uniformed, we can go back and make them a little bit darker. And even though they're in the light, they'll have little bits just a shade darker as well. So I'm deliberately leaving spaces, as you can see, and that's for other colours going in. So sometimes I'll leave just a wee line there of light hitting the tops of them, but don't make them too uniform, like you wouldn't do it straight across, and that bit would be just a little bit darker there again. Mind, these trees will be much darker too, so that'll look better once they get in as well. So I'm leaving a couple of wee lines there again. So it's quite dark in this side. So I'm going to start going a little bit darker now. Just mind this one here will be particularly dark next to the tree anyway, and then it'll go a wee bit lighter there, but not much. And we'll do another little bit there, a wee bit lighter here, just to show that it's a wee bit lighter at this side and it's darker at that side next to the tree. few more of these in. I'm deliberately leaving wee gaps. Gives us a wee bit of scope. You can even put bits of green. When you come further down the picture as well, you should become a bit more greeny. I'll show you another one that we were doing today. I'll just show you this one. See the green at the bottom? Right round about this area here. So that, I was just playing about with that today, but that's did that on the wrong paper, so it didn't work too well, but it gave me the idea where we were going. So it's kind of more greeny at the bottom to support the flowers, and then it's just a big blanket of bluebells further up. So this is still the light area, but I can go a little bit darker in between these ones, even though it's a lighter area, because it's going to be brighter in there. So still keep just a little bit darker where your trees would be. It's almost like a little shadow. Just fill in this now. Okay. There's different ways of doing this. You can also just let it go across that way with a big brush and then go back in and do wee textures like this on it. But sometimes they're so distant, they're all just kind of smoked in, and it gives you a wee area to work with that. Right, so I'm just going to go a bit more white over here than now, because this is going to be really light. That might allow me to put little bits of pinky bluebells. Sometimes you get pinky bluebells and sometimes you get really violety ones, and purple and blue, all different colours. So what I'm going to start doing down here as well, I'm going to begin with little bits of light green. This might be a wee bit too green. I'll just try a wee bit round about here first. Just some little patches. Just since it's coming a bit nearer us now. Little bits of green starting to show through some of them. And when I'm doing the green, I tend to be using a bit more of this sort of yellow, because it's nice and sunny. So, and what you can do with the yellow, you can put white with it to make it even brighter. That sort of thing. Not all over, just in bits of it. Some bits in there. So I'll go back and do some more bluebells on that bit. See what I mean about the little point on it? It's sort of giving you the almost a sort of impression of bluebells there. And it has got a wee point right at the end of the brush, so sometimes when we're nearly finished we can go back and actually do some more bluebells down here where you can see them. And see, sometimes it just falls like that. I don't know if you can see that there. You just get little bits that's just sort of fallen. See that? So the brush is nearly dry at that point and it's popping out some, and in between them I can do some pinks as well, so that's quite nice. So I'll go back to this wee area in a minute. I'm just going to do some over here. And just to get a nice base, I think I've used my white brush now, so I'll just put a wee bit on here with my fingers now. A little bit there and a little bit there and there. Just to give us a base to work on. Okay, so I'm just making my pale blue again, very pale. I should have done my path first before doing this, but it's okay, I'll go back to that. So this bit's still, it's not caught the sun this wee bit, but just probably the tail end it has. So I can actually go over bits of my path with a bit more light as well. So there's where I can leave wee bits of white coming through. And right next to the tree, it probably is quite dark there, just to get an edge on the tree. Now this bit's pretty dark in here, so I'm going to start off dark and then it'll just sort of phase up into that white I've put on. So there's no detail in these at all, these are quite far away. But I'm still going to leave some little spaces for other colours. And don't forget the little dark shadow at the bottom. And just to emphasise that shadow there, I'm going to put a bit more white there and make these ones a little bit lighter. And just go in like that. It's hardly noticeable, but you'll see it when it's done. Right. Just get as many in as you can, just even blocks now. I'm going to get a little bit darker here, because this bit's really in the shadow. Right, so I'm going to start going in with a bit more sort of limey greens now, and the yellows just in between bits. So I might want a bit more in here, and a little bit just in between here. It just breaks the flowers up a little bit as well, so it's not too much. You can even do that in there. Anywhere you can break it up a little bit, you can do that. Now as it's coming down and you see more of the green in here, you can even make the green a bit more stocky there. But we'll get into that in a minute. So what I might do is just get a bit more of the darker bluebells sort of appearing down here, round about the tree and in between it. Leave some spaces. Now that's quite nice, that's just going on straight with the tip of my brush there. And if I get them dark enough, don't want to make them too big, but if I get them dark enough I can split them down a little bit with whites, and it makes each one into more than one, and you might get that sort of bluebell look there. And leave a wee space, maybe do a few more. See that's quite nice, they're quite bluebell looking. I want to block in as much as I can and try and leave some spaces as well. Right, what I'll try and do now, we'll put some little bits of pink in. So this is my big brush and I've still got a wee bit on it from earlier. So I'm just going to put a little bit of magenta. There's nothing much in it. So it's just sitting at the ends of the brush, so I won't get an awful lot out of it. But that's quite nice actually, just to begin with some little bits in between like that now. Just maybe where you've got some light. But very, very little of this because it can take over. That's only putting tiny wee bits on because there's hardly anything on my brush. I'm practically using my brush dry. Just a tiny bit more. I don't want to wet my brush because it'll put it on too much. And we'll just get some little bits here as well. Some in that little area there. Right, I'm going to go back to that in a minute. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to lighten the path a little bit with a bit of white and a little bit of ochre, just to get nice warm tones on that. I quite like the idea of kind of mauve being there as well because that's quite nice for in between the shadows, and I'm remembering my light coming through there, so just keep that going like that now. Keep it quite light up there. I might actually bring some of the bluebells over that path a little bit up there as well. And we've got one or two trees to put in there as well that's going to go over the light source, so that's fine. So what you can do as well, you can block in a couple of little bits of light in the path, just like where the sun would be. Because there's going to be foliage up there, so there'll be some spaces in between the foliage and shadows of these trees. So once that's all in, that'll look nice. And there'll be a big shadow going right across there as well. So if that shadow's going to be there, this bit will be quite light. So we'll get back to that in a minute. So just before I do anything else here, I'm going to get a little brush now. This is just a little flat brush. Very, very small, and I'm just going to mix some raw umber and some of that green, and not that you'll see much of this, but I'm going to put some in at the bottom of the path just where we'll see it, especially these bits. Get that a bit more brown, maybe some ochre in it as well. It'll start to look a wee bit more sort of muddy down here. Muddy colours just going in there. You won't see them because the foliage will be over that, so only need a wee bit. And you can put a couple just where you think you'll see it. Okay. Right, so while I've got that, I can actually go in with my Bluebell brush and just overlap little bits of the path like that, and I can put a few more lights on that, and then a few more bluebells, and these are a wee bit darker, but that's fine, just so that they show off over the path. So if you just sort of do a few of them sort of hanging over there, that's quite nice, and leave a bit shown there and do another bit there as well. And just to show that a little bit more, you can do a bit more of the light first, breaking into the path, and then a few more little bluebell bits. Now that's where the green will show up quite nice. So if I leave that wee gap there and go in, these are a bit heavier, but that's alright. A few more bluebells sort of hanging over there. And there's a dark tree there with in the dark bit of the wood, which will have still a bit of this coming through here. So I can even continue a little bit of brown into that blue and bring that through, and that's going to give me like a wee shadow across there. And there's going to be other trees up there with some shadows as well, and then there's going to be this one here as well. That'll be quite dark. So I'm just going to use my finger now because I don't want to muck up my bluebell brush too much. So that's going to be coming from about there. I'll get that darker in a minute. So it's good to use some little colours through your shadows. I'm going to make them darker, the tree as well. And that won't stop there, that'll just go right over there and then it'll get a bit lighter. I suppose I could even drag it over and it'll get lighter anyway. Just when it goes over into the light area, that'll get darker, lighter. So, and then you can get extreme light just after the shadow, you can get extreme light again. Okay, so I want to just make sure my bluebell brush is clean and get a few more bluebells in here. I'm going to leave some more areas for green and get quite a few bluebells in there. My brush is a bit wetter there, so that's how it's looking a little bit blobby there. So you can put these in and you can still put little bits of pink through these as well. I want a bit more green in here because it's going to get a lot more green there now. So that's quite nice, that wee effect that the brush is giving there. I'll go back to that. Right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to the bluebells because I want to do some detail there, and I don't know if I'll get it all in this session, but we'll see. So what I want to do, I'm going to get a bigger brush now, just a bigger flat brush like that, and I'm going to get my trees a bit darker, and I'm also going to get a bit of foliage up there. We'll see how that works. Okay, so I can use this little flat brush that I was using earlier there, and if I put a little bit of moisture on it with the brown, just make sure that's nice and sharp because these will disappear with the foliage. So I use ultramarine with my brown quite a lot, and it's almost like a black it gives you, so that should work quite nice. Just darkens it. Now I don't want to put the paint on too thick here, but it's quite hard to put it on and keep it dark when you spread it, so I'm going putting wee sort of dotty bits on first and then spreading it. I always feel you get more out of the brush, the colour, when you do that. So these ones here will be absolutely silhouette because they're in the dark and there's light coming from behind them, so you'll hardly see any light on those ones. You can start making them a little bit thicker, I suppose, at the bottom, and that tidies up bluebells round about them. So just watch your lengths on them as well, that they're a bit different lengths, that they're not all looking the same. There's quite a lot in this picture. I'm just trying to do it a sort of impressionist style without too much detail. You could spend a good couple of hours on this. For what I'm showing you, even you could finish. I could even go back and do more later on as well, and so could you once you've got the sort of bases in. Right, so that's that one in. This is the one that we did like the silver birch here, and that's okay to do that, but just go back in and just get it really sharp at the edges because there'll be absolutely no light on this bit at all. You can even make it wider if you like. It's quite a big tree, that. And once you put it on, if you get wee extra bits on it, you can drag it through like that. That helps to make it look more round too. And also if you do want to put highlights on it, it sits nicer on the dark. So you'll see once we do this, the bluebells will sit nicer too. It makes the sky look a bit fresher too. I've got Payne's Grey out here as well. I don't know what I dipped into there, but it doesn't matter as long as it's something dark. Take that dark right up to the top. That makes that one stand out. So that's looking a bit better than it was. Now, even though these ones are further back, they'll still be dark, but you can add a bit of green or something into the brown just to make them a wee bit more paler looking. So I'm putting Viridian Green into my raw umber here, and that's quite nice against the light as well. Just take that right to the top. You can vary these trees as much as you like. Do your own thing on them. Sometimes you get wee leafy bits on the sort of newer trees as well down low. So I'm only putting some of these in because we'll see some of them through the foliage. So as many as you can. And we'll do some there as well. Just wee scraggly ones will do, because you're not going to see much of them through the foliage. Now that one's quite pale, but you can do another one maybe beside it, quite dark. Now as soon as it hits the light source there, it'll go lighter down here, so I'll show you what I mean there. So the light's going to go down there, so from there up they'll be much darker. They'll just be like silhouette. That one kind of goes into two there. So it can be a wee bit thicker at the bottom. Now just watch there, don't go. Some people actually do that and then just bring the light back up in that bit, but that's okay. So I'm going to put a bit of blue in the bit that's darker. When the paint gets so wet, you just can't see what colour's sitting on top of what, because it's getting so wet now. But this is, I might go back in there later, get that a wee bit darker. And I want to get this one darker, so blue is one of your darkest colours. So that's very light. So you'll see when it hits the light, it goes lighter there. So you try and sort of dot it on like that, you'll get a bit more out of it. And they can even, the dark will be at a wee bit of an angle on it. But this is what I mean when it's dry, you'll be topping up with things like this, because the paint sits much better on the dry paint later on. Okay, so I'm going to do a wee bit of foliage up here, and then I might put another wee tree here, but well, before I go over there with foliage I'll get a wee bit of colour in there. In fact I might even do a wee bit of that now. So I've done that really solid now, but you'll be filling it in with some colour that's around. I'll even see if I can get a wee bit of these tones coming in, because the sky's quite wet there as well. and just put some white at the ends of it just to keep it soft. This is something that when the picture's finished, it's nice just to sweep that over with a big brush like that just to get the light in. But I mean, you don't have to make the light that noticeable. It's just to show that it's there. When it's shining on those trees, you'll see it's looking better. So I can take a little bit of white and just a spot of yellow, hardly anything in it at all, and just put some wee warmer tones up there as well. If you've got some colours underneath these and then you put some white, it's like a wee neck curtain, when you put that over it, it makes it look lighter. So you don't want a big block of pure white coming through there. So that will get a wee bit paler as it comes down. But if you didn't have a colour under it, you just wouldn't see the white, it wouldn't show up. So that'll do the now. I'll go back to that. And the other thing you can do as well is make these a bit paler, so some of them can sort of get faded into that light, and I'll put a wee bit lemon on it as well. So that they're kind of faded away. Using all my colours up very quickly. Right, that'll do that little bit now. Right, so I'm going to take a bigger brush like this. In fact, I think I might just take the bigger one because the colour's going a bit better with this, especially for trees. And I'm just going to fill in quite a lot of area at the top, and I want to get loads of yellow first, so what I might do, I'll put more yellow, this is lemon, and I might just use, I'm using so many brushes here, so I'm just going to use a flat brush this now, and what I want to do is just get as much lemon shown. You can put a bit of white in some of these as well to keep them bright, so they're just like big blocks of leaves now, but we can do more with them once we've got all the green in, just to give you an idea what we're doing. And like that as well, you can put these in and you can go much more detailed later on too. So I'm going in with my Viridian green there. Phthalo green is just much the same, you can do the same kind of thing. And get them a bit more greeny now, just fill in big areas. So where you've done some yellow, you can do some green round about them. And a good way to show where you're going with this is you can actually, maybe use another brush for this. I can actually, in fact I'll just use the same brush. If I go in with some really dark colours at the very top here like this helps to let you see how much more you need to do then. This is good for, if you get dark colours round about like that, it makes you look through where the light's going, so it's quite a nice thing to do at your picture just to make it look really good. I don't want to rush this, so we might need to do a bit more of this another day. We'll do a bit more now. So a lot of these colours that you just won't see are in like dark areas here. You very rarely see the sky that high up, so you can do them, and I'll show you how to take a smaller brush and turn them into some little leaves as well. Right, so you can bring them down as low as you like. You can see they're quite low in that other little picture there. Just let you see that. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave it there and we'll do some more on part 3. Okay, so I'll catch up with you in part 3. Okay, bye bye.